Yeah, yeah. So we both watched Tron Ares.
Since time began, man has gazed at the stars and he has wondered, am I alone? So much talk of AI and big tech today. Virtual worlds, what are they going to look like? When will we get there? Well, folks, we're not going there. They are coming here. I would like you to meet Ares, the ultimate soldier. He's biblically strong, lightning fast, supremely intelligent. And if he is struck down on the battlefield,
And we just figured we'd share our last thing. And man,
So,
okay,
okay,
okay, okay.
okay.
Number
So
one,
I have a lot. I have a few thoughts here. Number one, it's not good.
no, it's bad. It's really
It's
bad.
just,
It's
it's
genuinely
just
terrible. Ares is a
disappointingly.
great character until his helmet pulls away and it's Jared Leto.
I
Like,
can get. I
oh.
can. So no. Okay. See, funny enough, I think Jared Leto is like one of the only good things in this movie.
Terrible. And all of his they midway through the movie just decide that this character is sassy, so he's just sassy for the rest. Like he goes through what a character arc that I would describe as weird and unearned for this character who's just been interjected into
So
the third movie. Like
a big part
my
of
big thing is, hold on, let me finish this thought. My big thing is I wish he was Tron.
yeah, yeah.
I think I think
I
if they
agree
had
with
done a
that.
twist,
Or even if they had done a thing where like, okay, let's say like, okay, we're gonna do it this way. You're stuck with Jared Leto,
oh, okay.
right? Okay, you're stuck with him. You have to use him in some regard. The one way that it would have worked for me is if Dillinger had copied Tron
Yes.
Rizzler,
Yeah.
specifically Rizzler,
That was my idea too.
from that network, and like twisted him and changed him and did whatever
Yeah.
rewriting of his code, and that's why he looks like Jared Leto.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I was expecting. Because okay, this is gonna be one of those jumping around reviews because I want to talk about the post credit, which is you saw that.
Dark.
Yeah, that was, no, I don't know. It was a post credit. It was a mid credit, but yeah, he gets Dillinger gets possessed by. Oh yeah, this has Jared. It's funny because I picked this because it was like Jared Leto. He's Morbius. It's Morbin time. That's funny. And then I got into this and I went, holy shit, Evan Peters is also in this, and he's
Evan Peters.
Evan Peters.
Oh yeah. He's Quicksilver.
He's Quicksilver. Yeah.
I didn't realize he was in this.
Yeah, he's Dillinger. But he gets possessed by the Sark program at the end of the movie. So it felt
and
like
also, it has Greta Lee, who is in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse.
who's she?
I don't know. It just says here that she was in those.
Huh.
Oh, she was Lila.
Oh, okay. This movie is two scripts that got mashed together in the writing process. It has a bunch of what was definitely sequel ideas for the third Tron movie that definitely involved the Garrett Hedlund character and Olivia Munn and Jeff Bridges. Maybe not Jeff Bridges, but definitely those two characters, because the Asian chick who is just in this for some reason, she just took
I
over
couldn't
for the
figure
guy.
out who
There's
she is.
There's
Like,
no explanation given to who she is or what her connection is to the Flynn
or
family.
if there is, it's in a blink and you miss it
Or
thing.
why
Like,
should
I don't.
they sort of exposition vomit a bunch of shit at the beginning of the movie, but it never really. The movie says that both of them take over, but then
the sister's dead.
But the sister's dead, but we don't get to know the sister enough for it to really hit or impact. So it just feels like the sister that dies was supposed to be the Olivia Munn character, and she was gonna die, and it was gonna be Garrett Hedlund, and he was gonna be, and that's why he was looking for permanence, because she was impermanent. That's That's what
See,
that's what it felt like the point was.
what it
And
what it what it felt like to me is it feels like in a version of the script, some version of the script. The who is she? Greta Lee character, the Asian character. It feels like she was going to be a daughter of Sam Flynn
no, see, I don't think
and
so.
the robot character. Yes, because that's what it comes across to me. Because at the end, when Ares is like, I have to go and find them, he's like, he has a picture of them, and then like he looks immediately at a picture of the two sisters, as if there's supposed to be like a connection between the
No,
two.
I think okay, no, again, I think there's two versions of this script. I think that all of the stuff involving the Asian character was Sam, like just full war. And I think that Ares was Tron. And I think that's where that Sark possessing him at the end shit comes from. I think it comes from the previous version of that script. And I think the Jared Leto AI stuff and I think the Asian chick are from a different movie. I think that Jared Leto had I think what this was I think this was a Jared Leto vehicle about him being an AI that becomes smart. I think that this was malformed into a Tron thing and had Tron because so much of this as a sequel to Tron Legacy doesn't make any fucking sense. So because the grid this treats the grid as if it's this sort of nebulous space in which all of these different systems occupy. So the Dillinger system, the system from Tron Legacy, and the system from the original movie are all different systems that seemingly all exist within the grid.
Well, see, that's where I
But it's
interpreted it
not.
like what?
The grid was made by Flynn in the second movie. He created the grid.
What I was gonna say is I interpreted it as the grid is just movie speak for what like whatever computer they're on is the grid. So like they keep referring to Dillinger system as the grid because that's their home. It's the
Right,
grid.
but the grid.
And then the one from the second from Legacy is that computer's internal
Right,
world
but
grid.
I googled this because no, the system in they don't call it. I'm pretty sure they don't call it the grid in the original one, but also to be fair, the system in the second movie is based on the original system. He took the original code and made the new system. But this all seemingly sort of seems yeah. But again, it's not explained well. Like
No, it's not. It's not at all.
explained well. But that's I there's not to say it's devoid of shit that I liked. Like yeah, you're right. I didn't totally hate Jared Leto.
He's not to me.
I do
He's
wish,
not the worst part of this
no,
movie.
but he's still bad. He's still bad
It's
though.
it's well, but for me, what makes his character bad is stuff surrounding him.
Like
So like him being like a program that was on Dillinger's system that becomes good is not
oh
that's
no,
not a
that I don't have
bad
an issue with.
concept.
No, I don't have an issue with that. That's not for me. It's all in the
And
like.
it's not even necessarily some of his acting choices that I don't like. Like I don't mind them, but it's just it's there's certain little things
For
that
me, it's
with
shit like
him.
he starts off like a hyper serious character, and just nowhere in the middle of the movie, out of nowhere,
Yeah, like
he's now sassy, and he's like, "Where the fuck did
like
this come from?" Like the scene
it
between
feels
him
like
and the scene
it,
between him and Flynn feels like he was supposed to be Tron.
oh, absolutely it does.
It reads
And
because he's
that's
like, "Oh,
that's
you still
where
surprised me." What do you mean still? You just met him like 5 minutes ago, and
that
you're not
that's
even
where
real.
that's where I say um that's why I say my issues with uh Jared Leto in this movie aren't really I don't view them as his fault necessarily. I view them as bad writing. Um
I would maybe yeah, I would maybe be if they, but it feels like that was supposed to be the
like
twist because yeah, they do
if
the
they
big.
had if they had gone a route where he was Tron and he was like a
I
warped
swear
version
he
of
was.
Tron.
I swear he was
I fully believe that he
because
was.
it feels like there's a
Um
scene missing because he comes back after he gets the code. He comes back and now he looks like one of the Tron system people. Like he has the white look now, and so it felt
Yeah.
like that was supposed to be the moment where you found out that he was Tron, or
That
that he's
yeah, and
Tron
he returns back
reincarnated,
to
or
Tron or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, and like he's like and that or maybe like he melded his code with Tron. It's just weird that Tron is not involved in this in any capacity. Again, it feels
Why are
like
we still
it was
why are
a
we still calling it Tron?
right. It feels like it was a different other people because the aesthetic, I guess. But it
Right.
feels
No, I
like
know,
but
but
it feels if yeah again it feels like this was a different movie. This was a different Jared Leto vehicle that got malformed and written into it. But there's not to say that there's not
ultimately I
cool
ultimately
visuals
I
in this
think
though, man. Like some of the shit
ultimately
looks cool.
I think what I would say is what happened I would say probably is yes. I think they had another idea for Jared Leto, basically another project where he was an AI who
Comes to the
became
real
smart,
world.
yada yada yada, whatever, right? Like that was, I think, the idea, and I think they wanted I don't remember the actor's name, but Sam Flynn
Yeah,
from
Gary
Legacy.
Gary Hackman.
They wanted him and the girl.
I
The
think so.
story was going
It's
to be about them. It was going to follow them, and they didn't want to come
it's
back.
bizarre.
And
It's bizarre that the movie ends
they
with a setup.
pivoted and they merged the two together at that point.
Yeah,
Another thing that I can't stand, and this is just a visual thing that I don't like. I don't like that their discs turn into triangles.
really, I like that. I like that. I
Don't like
like
it.
it. I like it because it set them apart as being the part of the problem is there isn't enough of them on the regular Flynn grid because I liked that it made them different from the Flynn grid people where instead of being circles
Yeah, and
theirs are
well,
triangles like
like
that's a
that could
cool
have been an
aesthetic but
interesting thing.
they don't do enough with the contrasting the two systems. Like they don't do it
And
because like
then this is
half
where
of the
this is
movie
where I
takes place in
say
the real world, which is
this
not
is
what
where I
Tron is
say
about.
like if they had done if they like they could have done things slightly different and it would have fixed like some of the issues where like when he was breaking into the encom system, for example, why didn't they have like a version of Tron as the defender that shows up to stop him, where they get into like a battle or whatever, they start talking, and that's where he starts changing.
Yeah,
His interaction with with Tron is what starts shifting his mind, and that's when
it's like you don't even have
Ares
to.
starts becoming different. Like there's things that they could have done which would have made it make more
I
sense.
also don't like, and I understand this is kind of how it worked in but the one to one of like showing him type the code and then you see it play out in the and I don't know that didn't work for me like cause that's like
What
I
do you mean?
prefer like when they were showing Dillinger do the programming and then it would like him hacking in and it showed them like literally breaking in as though it were a heist.
Oh,
That
I
really
see.
like I didn't like
No,
that
yeah,
one to one.
that's not Tron.
That's not really
That's
how
not.
Tron works. That's why I'm saying
No.
I'm pretty positive they had the evil CEO, which is Evan Peters. They had Jared Leto Tron. They had her. They had the fact that they were rival CEOs, and then they had the idea of bringing shit from the because bringing shit from the Tron world has never been a thing in this. It's always about going into the computer. It's never been
That's
about
not
coming out.
inherently true, because in Tron Legacy, Clue was all about getting out into the real
But it's
world.
never been
So
about being out.
they're being a logical progression of, oh, now the Tron stuff is going to come to the real world. To me, that was always in the cards,
Um,
because like,
but
yeah, you had in Legacy, you had Clue who wanted to come to the real world, and then the movie ends with
yeah,
Quora coming to the
for the
real
skip
world.
from it's hard. That was really hard and impossible to now. Like I swear that this was it started off with the idea of bringing the digital things to the real world, and somebody in a writer's room went, "Holy shit, we can do this with Tron." Imagine this with Tron. And to the movie's credit, this is where I'm going to say the nice things when the Tron stuff does come to the real world, it looks fucking sick.
Oh, it looks cool.
When it's taken when it's driving through the like some of the effects with the light cycles look sick. Like it's not all CGI. Like there's a really cool shot of the camera on the light cycle, and they've clearly got this rig where the camera's around her chest and it's getting the close up on on their face.
Yeah.
They do it a couple times. They do it when they're diving and it looks like they actually had them dive in a green screen room, and it actually looks like they're actually physically diving instead of just CGI. A lot of the light cycle stuff looks like they're actually on a physical light cycle. Like, it looks cool. And yeah, no, the chase sequence where it's taking out the light cycles are taking out cars and getting one of the big, I don't know what they're called, but the big Megatron looking things.
Yeah,
Lightsaber,
yeah.
a big one of those fly through a city. It's sweet. And yeah, when he first creates Ares, and you see Ares training, taking out all the guys, and yeah, the insurgency into the NCOM system, that sequence is cool. Like, that's
My
fun.
my one thing though, and it kind of just is proved as the movie goes on, is it's like, okay, if the idea is that these things are supposed to be like immortal soldiers that you can just keep printing, I don't really see. They last 30 minutes. You can get a lot done in 30
That's what
minutes.
I'm saying. Why do you need them to stick around for a
Especially
long
because
time?
like there doesn't seem to be like a time down of like, okay, I can't print another one for like 12 hours or like
No,
something like they
she
pretty
reprints herself pretty
immediately.
immediately. Yeah.
So I'm just not seeing the
No,
need, the
they never
necessity,
specify like, oh, you can only reprint so many times, or there's only so much
or
material to
like it's
print these
super
things, or
expensive or something,
how the
or
reprinting itself works. That's where I'm saying, like, all that shit, all the reprinting and stuff. That feels like from a completely different screenplay. And yeah, the minute they show Jared Leto's face, Jared Leto can no longer do any of the action sequences. So it like when his face is hidden and the stunt guy can do cool looking choreography, Ares is a cool character. But the minute you can see his face, and it's like however 40-50-year-old Jared Leto who can barely run in the armor. Also, like, once he turns into regular Tron, how does that work? Can he just take the Tron armor off, and does he just store it
I
in
mean,
his
clearly
closet?
he does. Clearly he does because at the end of the movie he's not wearing it anymore,
And yeah,
and he's just living as a human.
I hate the fact that this is the third one, and it sets up like
Another one.
it sets up it arrogantly sets up another one, which is probably not going to get because this bombed horribly.
Oh, this did terribly.
Um, and
Had a very high budget and not a very good
it
return.
ends with him being like, I'm gonna meet the characters from the last one, and you're like, this is so lame. This is so
I'm just
lame.
like, I'm just like,
Why were they
I
not
mean,
in
why weren't they
this?
not in this one?
Yeah, why weren't they in this one? Like, why do you need to find them, and what conflict could they, I guess, to fight Sark, maybe?
I guess, yeah.
Like, to me, I guess the next evolution of this is he fuses with Sark, and then he can summon things in the real world, I guess, is maybe the next evolution of this. I don't know. I don't know what you possibly continue on with this. But, like, yeah,
So,
I'm not saying Jared Leto
so
ruins this, and I'm not saying
sorry,
this is
sorry, I have to interrupt you. My phone is at 5%.
okay.
I'm gonna have to switch over.
Okay, that'll allow me time to wrap up my final thoughts, unless you have more thoughts.
No, that's it for me.
Um, where was I? Yeah, I'm not gonna say Jared Leto ruined this because I don't think he ruined this. I agree with Jordan. I don't think he's the worst part. I mean, I don't know. I don't. It's hard because, like, yeah, there's not stuff devoid. Like, it's not devoid of stuff to like visually. The soundtrack. We also didn't talk about the soundtrack. The soundtrack is quite good. Nine Inch Nails does quite good. It really reminded me of Tron Legacy. The aesthetic is still fun.
There we go.
But, like, I don't know. It's just not as good as the last one.
No, it's not. I'm not. I'm not even gonna try and pretend that
No,
it's just not.
it's just not.
Uh,
It's just not.
it's just a lot of that. I mean, and we didn't even talk about the what's his name cameo where it's not even the real him. It's just like the ghost of a memory
Of him, yeah. But
of
he has
him.
weird levels of knowledge that he shouldn't, and their conversation, yeah, yeah.
And even though he's an immortal computer being, he's still older.
Yeah, exactly. It's
He's still
weird.
aging for some reason.
Like I say, if they had made, if the reveal at the end had been that he was a reconstituted program, even if I'm stuck with Jared Leto, that little tweak of, but again, it felt like that was a plot line, that was a storyline that was in this that they cut.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does.
Because that feels like that.
It very much feels well, because especially because like at the end of the last one, it's like I fight for the users. He's still like evil technically at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, to have it where Dillinger or something before he left Encom, he snuck on the server and he stole as much as he could, and he stole like their version of Tron and brought it over to his own system. It writes itself,
Well, yeah. This
and it
this
infinitely makes more sense.
and well, there's also just a lot of like my other again evidence for this used to be a different script was Encom has never been the good guy. Like the fact that Encom is the good guy in this one in this movie.
Well, it is. It's
This
supposed to
movie.
be
Hold
when
on.
it's
Well, this
under
movie. This
when
movie.
it's under
This movie
Flynn.
postulates the idea that that the Dillinger Company has been like a rival evil bad guy the whole time, and it just hasn't. No, they've not. They're not been a rival bad guy the whole time.
Well, the idea is that they're supposed to like he was supposed to have left Encom and then he formed his own company.
Yeah, dumb. It's dumb.
So it's not that they were around. They were around the entire time. It's just they used to be at
No, but I mean
Encom.
from like a story standpoint, they have not been.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
But this, yeah, they
He,
like.
his grandfather or whatever was the bad guy from the first
No, I
Tron. He
know. But what
was
no,
Dillinger.
what I'm saying is like it's pretending like they were like a major villain in the last one when they just weren't.
No, not in the last one, but he was there.
I mean, technically speaking, the
In the beginning
character,
of it, his character was there in the beginning.
technically
Not
speaking,
necessarily this character, but like the Dillinger character
yeah,
was in.
yeah, he's played in the yeah. There's a he's there in an uncredited cameo played by Cillian Murphy. He is technically in the last
Yeah,
one. Yeah, you're not wrong.
yeah. So he
Um,
has been a character. It's just he
he,
didn't have as much of a presence
it
in the
wasn't
last one as
it
he.
wasn't stated. Like I don't know, maybe if there was a
Yeah.
line in the last one about how like Dillinger Co was trying to like get us, maybe I'd be like, oh yeah, they've always been a presence, but this wants to pretend like they've been way more of a they've had way more of a tete-a-tete than I think they have in this franchise.
Well, it's because what like this one is trying to more so than the last one. I would say this one is very much trying to call back to the original, like to the point where they go.
That is true.
Ares goes onto the original server, and and that's one thing that I will give this movie
That was
credit
cool. That
for.
was a cool moment.
When he goes on to it and
Yeah,
it's in the classic style and
that
it
was
looks
cool.
like the original movie,
Yeah,
that's a nice touch.
that was
Like
really cool.
I appreciate
That
that.
was, I
He uses the light cycle and it looks like it does in the original
my other
movie.
thing is, I'm pretty sure in Tron Legacy, they knew that he was going into the computer, didn't they?
They who they?
Like the company, like they knew that he was going onto the grid. Like
Uh, I don't think so. I think what's his name? The guy who Tron was based off. I think he did, but I don't think the board of directors did.
this is where it's been just long enough that I don't because I'm pretty sure in the well I guess maybe it's interpretable that because they show the
Like yeah,
speech they
he
show the
shows a
speech
whole
and
speech about how the digital frontier and all that, but
they
that's not like
we're gonna go in
he's not literally saying like I'm going on to the network at that
but
point.
yeah well I think it's I guess maybe the idea is meant to be interpretable because I remember he has where he's like we're gonna go in there and then eventually and they use the bit of it in this movie they're gonna come out here so I always assumed that the idea that the programs were actually people that like the world knew that.
Clearly
Yeah,
not, because
clearly
in this
not.
one it blows her fucking mind.
But
So
yeah, my biggest this movie just feels like whoever wrote it didn't watch Tron Legacy.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
did not watch Tron
Feels
Legacy.
it feels like they watched like the first half an hour of the original Tron and then read the cliff notes about
Yeah.
the rest of
This
it.
again. This was a Jared Leto vehicle where he was AI. They watched the first 30 minutes of the original Tron and tacked some Tron shit onto the script.
It's just it's if I had to use
Had maybe a
if
loose outline on what they had ideas for a sequel because
if if I had to sum up this movie with one word, it would be disappointing.
I think my thing is like I think it would be a better movie if you okay.
If you had to, okay, if you had to sum it up with one word, would it also be disappointing?
No, it would be what's a single word to say exactly what I expected. As bad as I expected. Um,
So
mitigated?
you're so you're not disappointed?
No, mostly just because it's exactly what I thought it was gonna be. There's
Yeah,
so
and
many.
and that's disappointing.
Yeah, but I assumed it. No, because I assumed it was gonna be bad. So like I didn't go into it with high hopes, so it didn't disappoint anything.
I didn't go into it with high hopes either. I'm disappointed it's as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Oh, okay. Then
It's disappointing.
maybe in that regard, maybe. But no, I'm not disappointed. I don't feel disappointed by it because I didn't have any expectations for it. Perhaps if I was expecting it to be good,
I feel disappointment towards it because I like Tron Legacy and it's not even half as good as
my
that.
feelings might be different had we watched it in theaters.
Oh, my theaters would have been intensified if we had watched it in
Yeah,
theaters.
I think I might have felt more let down if I had watched the one trailer where I was like, "Oh, this looks cool," had heard nothing, and then had watched this on like opening weekend, then yeah, I maybe would feel disappointment. But I'd heard this got a comedic drubbing. People equated this to Morbius, and the minute you do that, I have no. There's nothing that can disappoint me. And no, like some of the visuals were cool. Like some of the action sequences were like legitimately cool. And here's my question: if you stripped Tron away from this, it's the exact same movie. You change all of the aesthetics so it doesn't look like Tron, but it has a Tron like aesthetic, but it doesn't look exactly like Tron, and it's the same movie. Is this better received? Because some of those visuals are cool, but I guess they only work because it's
So
Tron,
so
because it's a light cycle in a city. If it's not a light cycle, then it doesn't
so
work.
okay. I have two thoughts in regards to that. My first thought is no, because it has Jared Leto.
Yeah,
My second thought is if it doesn't have Jared Leto and you have another actor and it's all the same otherwise, yes, I
yeah.
think it would.
It's
Like
Jared
story
Leto.
wise. I think Jared Leto has just he has that bad of a
Yeah,
reputation
it's just
that I think it drags this movie down as a result.
it's really
Just
distracting.
just based on name power.
He has a monologue at the end of the movie that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Like his monologue at the end is it's just it's the kind of movie where I wish it was worse. I wish it was worse. I
But
wish it was laughably worse. I wish it was
but
Madam Web so that I could sit here and
but
eviscerate it. But it's just a
but
middling.
yeah, well, that's where I say with the movie we got and the fact that it is connected to Tron and all this, I don't think Jared Leto is the exclusive thing that
No,
that makes this bad.
no, not the exclusive thing. There's a
That
lot of
that
writing shit
I
in this that made me go, what?
like I have to be fair to him. I don't exclusive I'm not going to exclusively lay the failure of this movie at his feet.
This is
I
not
think
the Tron
he
3 we should have gotten. Is what I would say. Is what I would
No,
say.
yeah. Like I think he ultimately did the best he could with what he was handed.
Yeah, like I think if we had gotten Tron 3 and it had Garrett Hedlund and it had come out like 2 to 3 years after Tron Legacy and it was like made by the same creative team, all right. But again, there's a lot of I guess maybe I would take if I could take some of the action sequences out of this and put it in a better movie.
Oh, and as for why it could never be Sam Flynn in this and why it had to be the Asian girl, it's because when the robots come to the real world and are trying to hunt down the person who has the thing that they need so that they can become real boys. You can't have a person who's already been on the network, knows everything about how to fight them, and is competent. You have to have a person who has never dealt with them before,
But
is
that's my point.
completely
Is that's
and is completely unexperienced.
But that's my point. That's why I could tell that he was in this is because yes, that's what makes you could tell that the idea behind Ares and his squad is that they're supposed to be isolated and crazy and they're supposed to be different. But they don't read that way because they just kind of look like red versions of the regular Tron ones. And so if Garrett Hedlund is there and they need to extract the thing from his brain because he's got more information than she does about the grid and whatever, and he can't stop them, that makes them extra threatening without having to tell you that they're extra threatening because he has the experience of being in a disc fight. right? So it increases their threat level rather than having what is ostensibly a damsel in distress.
Yeah, plus I would say that it's also better if it's the dude because then it feels more like Ares and him are like more akin to how in the original Jeff Bridges and Tron are friends.
Yeah.
Like it would feel more like that and less like Ares or less like um Asian president wants to bang Ares.
Yeah. That's a very weird reading at the end. You're absolutely right. It does read that way, and it's weird, and it's strange. Again, all of his interactions with her are weird. He oversteps like he goes from being he goes to from being too well informed too quickly. His arc is too steep too fast in a way that it doesn't feel organic. But then you're kind of like, well, but he's an AI and he's a machine. Yeah, his transcension to being human. But if you're like, oh, that's because he was Tron the whole time. That's what I'm saying. I'm positive he was probably Tron at one point.
Oh, I fully believe
he
that.
was Tron. That like you said, that what's his face stole the code from to build, like, basically in order to create these things he had to borrow the code, and the code he borrowed was Tron's code. Like, you could tell that was gonna be a twist. That's why when he comes out he's wearing the different armor. You can tell it's how the material reads.
And it also just explains why their discs look different is because he's altered the code, so now they're more Dillinger-like, right? Like it's just absolutely
Right,
it does,
like
and that's ultimately what frustrates me and what disappoints me about this movie is, I can see the skeleton for a better movie.
or if you're like, oh, he has his own private server where Ares and because he was like, oh, this is the entire system for the entire company that he's created this experimental software on. That so it felt like and it was weird that his version of the grid looked like the version of the grid from Tron 2, which is supposed to be secret. So if they were like, oh yeah, he borrowed this from MCOM and that's why his looks like MCOM. Okay, like I say, it feels like there were scenes and there was bits that were cut out. Like maybe it's again because I've been doing this for so long, but like I'm at that point where I can see a bad script or I can see a script that got torn apart.
It feels like it needed like one or two more passes, and it would have been a more solid movie.
But also, and this is how I think I'm gonna wrap it up, is it's not as bad as everyone says it is. I think that's what you were kind of getting at, where you're like, it's not as bad.
Yeah,
as everyone says it is.
It's not like
It's
the
not
worst
Morbius
movie ever. It's not like no, and well, my thing is that like what the consensus that I was seeing on the internet, and the thing that I was hearing a lot of, and this is what my final thoughts and where I wanna wrap this on is, what I was seeing was this is bad because of Jared Leto. Like Jared Leto somehow single-handedly ruins this movie,
He does
and
a
he is
little bit.
exclusive. He is exclusive. No, but like people are saying, he is exclusively why this movie is bad, and that I don't agree with. I don't think this movie is exclusively bad because of Jared Leto. I think if he had been given a better script with better reasoning, with better choice, like I think he could, like, you could give him a fair shot. He could have been like put out a better product, but he was handed garbage.
Yeah, maybe.
Right?
Maybe.
Like that's the thing.
But no,
we'll
I mean,
never we'll never know if there could have been a better version of this with him, because what he was given with the writing didn't allow for it.
My thing is, it will always be that first trailer where like, oh yeah, the movie's exactly like that. First 15 minutes, like, all right, this is pretty cool, this is pretty excellent, and then he walks out and the helmet opens and it's Jared Leto, and you're like, oh, like that's how this movie feels. That's like 90% of what this movie feels like, where you're like, oh, that's it in a nutshell. But I don't think it's as bad as everyone says it is. That's Tron Legacy, not Tron Legacy.
That's Tron Ares.
That's Tron Ares. Hey there, everybody. It's N-Card Justin here. Let me know down in the comments. Have you seen Tron Ares? Did you think it was alright? We thought it was alright. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. But in the meantime, if you would like to see the full podcast that this is from I Was in a Marvel Thing Once, episode, click the box on the left. Or if you just want to see a random video that YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy, you click the box on the right. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. We put new videos out 7 days a week. Or you can just leave this video a like. We'll see you all in the next video. Have a good day, everybody.